I didn't wake up one morning and decide to be a criminal. It started slower than that. At Jefferson High, there were groups. You know the kind. The athletes, the overachievers, the kids who sat alone, and then there were them. They weren't just the bad kids. They had a kind of gravity. The way they moved through the halls, the way people made space for them. No teachers messed with them unless they had to. They weren't loud. They were dangerous in the quiet way. At first, I just sat near them in the cafeteria. Then I started skipping last period with them. Then they started calling me by name. Jason was the first one to hand me something. Just a little bag, nothing heavy. Just give it to Kevin during chem. He knows what to do. I did it. No questions. No money. Just the thrill of being part of something. A week later, I got paid. It kept going like that. Little by little, I was in. First, I was just delivering. Then I was holding on to stuff. Then I was selling. It felt powerful, like I mattered, like people noticed me for once. No one ever said out loud what we were doing, but we all knew. Weed, pills, sometimes worse, mostly to kids who were just curious, some who were desperate. One day I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize myself. My eyes were sharper, my mouth tighter. I'd stopped talking to my old friends. My grades were slipping, but I kept telling myself, I'm just playing the game. I'm not like them. Until the day I saw Mark, one of the group, crying in the alley behind the gym. I asked what happened. My brother OD'd last night, he said. Off stuff I helped move. That hit me hard. These guys weren't made of stone. They were kids like me, angry, tired, trying to matter. I started to feel it, the weight. I told Jason I was done. He laughed at first. You don't just leave, man. But I did. And then I went to the principal. I didn't give just names. I gave routes, patterns, locker numbers. 3 days later, the school swarmed with cops. Lockers open, backpacks checked. Jason, Mark, all of them handcuffed. Some of them cried. Some looked straight at me. Jason didn't say a word, just stared. Not angry, not sad, just hollow. The school whispered about it for weeks. Some kids called me a snitch. Others thanked me. But I couldn't stop thinking about Mark, about how scared he looked. About how we all ended up in that group because we didn't know where else to go. I got to stay. They didn't. And now, even after it's over, I still wonder, did I do the right thing? I stopped something that was hurting people. But I also turned on the only people who ever let me in. People like me. I tell myself I had no choice, that they were already falling. But at night, I still hear Jason's voice in my head. You don't just leave. And sometimes I think, maybe none of us ever really did.